We have an all-Australian battle about to get underway. Regular versus Goofy. Taj, the regular footer, who's been on tour for 20 years. Matt Wilkinson came on the scene back in 2010, and he's ready for especially when he goes to the air, as we'll now see the opening ride of this matchup. Deep on the point is Taj Burrow. Beautiful rail work to start in the pocket with a lot of energy in his surfing. Gets a quick rebound that'll shove him down the line. Lay back off the top. Full rail work on the forehand hook. Representing Western Australia. He'll just sit down on the final cutting. Gets back up to his feet because he wants the finish. Goes off the lip, throws the tail out, and he ends up losing the final turn.
Let's have a look at it. It's one of those ones you want, Joe. It's not one of the biggest sets. It sort of hits the bank a lot nicer. Taj, one of the most successful surfers here at Snapper Rocks, and you can see why. Just that speed that he carries through his turns. Matty Wilco, quick little in and out, but you know, Taj has come out on top here quite a few times. He's made the final a bunch of times as well. Just those turns there, you know, I mean, it's it may not seem radical, but you look how much power he's putting into it, and it all sets him up for that. You know, he's doing those turns for a reason. You know, he's obviously building points as he goes down the line, but every single maneuver that Taj is doing, it's to set him up for something big. Unfortunately, catching a rail there and getting back to his feet. So Taj making it quite clear he is completely amped up. He wants to win this, and he's going to have to be, because Matty Wilco's looking sharp. He's looking fit. It looks like he's done a bit of training for the first time, and he means business.
He is so fired up. Taj Burrow representing Western Australia. Both titles. Wanted another year on the qualifying series, which just felt like it was unheard of at the time. This is Matty Wilkinson now. Straight up vertical to start. Jams it again. Now he's going to carve back to set up the inside track. Has to do more fill-in work, and he's hoping for the low road. Got a little lip line. Since he's this far down the point, he's just going to commit. Already calling for the ski. Rifled off a few solid hooks to start as he's playing the comeback role in this one. Taj already has a 6.5. Last for Burrow, a 2.33.
One of the most dangerous backhand surfers on the planet, that's for sure. I mean, this was Taj after Wilco took off, throwing the fins out right there. Beautiful blowtail layback. You know, it's a tricky move, that, because you're literally throwing the board away from you and using just every ounce of your core strength to try and bring it back under your feet. See Matty Wilco, that first turn there, just really getting that rhythm going, finding that groove, and once he starts swinging, it's almost like it's nothing can stop him. He's taken down some big names with this backhand surfing, J Bay being one that comes to mind straight off the bat. The semi-final there for him, taking down Kelly Slater in 6 to 8 foot Jeffreys Bay. You know, once he, I mean, gone are the days of him rollerblading down to the Connas, that free-flowing, easygoing character. You know, he looks a lot more serious. He means business. I mean, the sport of surfing offers you a career that's very short, so you've got to make do with it. You've got to make sure you capitalize with those years you have on tour, and done.
So Wilco locks in a 5, so still chasing Burrow, because Burrow had the 6.5 start. Here comes Taj now. Ton of speed. This wave grows in front of him. Just a little chip to come around the corner. Big section to throw the fins out, but he's down.
His shoulders. Taj has maintained that fitness and health throughout his entire career.
Now having a look here will be Matty Wilkinson. Getting that board moving down the line. Now a big backside hack off the roof. Now to the open face for a carve. Great start for Wilco. Now blows the tail out on the oncoming section. Now Matty Wilkinson lays low on the whitewater, and he'll get out of there. Wilco needed a 5.34 to take the lead on that wave. The last year, well, we'll get back to that in a moment, because we'll check out Wilco's last wave.
You know, we talk about, you know, that blowtail. Now, what that means really is the back of the board where the fins are literally goes over the back of the wave. Now, in surfing terminology, we call it the blowtail. Right there, you can see if you were out the back of the wave and you were looking towards the beach, you would have seen all 3 fins disengage from the wave and stick out of the back of the wave, and that's called the blowtail.
I remember there was one year he came down here. I think it was that year he showed up on rollerblades and he had a perm. That was in the headlines everywhere.
Yep, which is a good thing.
It is great to see. Rolling in under priorities, Matty Wilco. Nice and vertical. He's using the whitewater well. This will get him down the line. Little low road starting to set up. And now he's going to set up a big vertical hack. blows the tail out. A tough landing, but he stomps it perfectly. Quick whip on his way down the line. And Wilco is on a roll. Under priority. Already got the lead on his last.
Wow.
And he's throwing his hands up because he's ready for the ski to be there. Feeling at Newcastle, as we'll take a look at this wave again.
Yeah, you talk about the tempo that he has. Once he gets that first turn going, it puts him in such a good groove. And what happens next, this kind of stuff follows, where he just finds that groove yet again, time after time. He's already posted a good score of 5.67 to get him into the lead. This is going to increase that lead. He's got a 5.0 as his second highest score. Now it's like a grandfather clock with that pendulum that swings back and forth. That's kind of how he surfs. You know, that bottom turn, top turn, bang, and this is what we see from him. There's that blowtail that you talk about, Joe. Fins out of the back of the wave. Literally disengages those fins, has a little bit of that free fall drop down. Critical surfing from Matty Wilco. The thing I like about it, he was tagging the wave in the critical section, which the judges are going to like.
You know, the way the waves are today, so going out into this heat, same board as he was on before, which is an absolute terror, and then going out and just throwing it up into the lip, back to this live action, and I'll break down. Taj is looking really good, fast flowing, throwing caution to the wind. He's up against the wind, the wall right now, and as you can see, coming unstuck right there. But back to the words from Glenn Micro Hall for the Wilco camp. You know, Wilco, he knows that he can go out there.
Want to get under each other's skin, and look, yeah, he's such a competitor. He doesn't come across it on land, but in the water he's very aggressive and aggro, and I think that's something that happened at the start of this heat, and that's why Wilco's blowing up there.
A really epic showdown already so far. At the 10-minute mark, we're going to watch Matty Wilkinson swing through the foam. He's a bit deep, so he's out. Taj with priority now at 9:55 on the clock. Wilco with a 12.4 combined total, and here comes Taj. Hard off the bottom and driving through a big first turn. Kind of just trimming that float just to keep that down the line momentum. Touches the next section. It's not giving him too much, so Taj has to get out of there.
You know, classic example. You know, the more pressure Matty Wilco builds.
He came out blazing. He's had so many world title campaigns. As we'll see Taj roll in. Without priority, he has to step off. Ultra competitive matchup, and Wilco drives through that first section with a tail drift. He'll float the next section and step off with nothing on offer. Felt so good to be back in a jersey. As we see what happened here, smart decision for Taj to get out of the way for Wilco using priority.
Yeah, very smart. I mean, had they crossed lines or had Taj got in Matty Wilco's way, that would have been, you know, heat over. So Taj ditching the board really quickly there, making sure he got out of the way.
Anything away from the red jerseys these days, it almost looks like the depth from the rookies this season might be more dangerous than ever. Potts looking back. No,
way more dangerous than ever. You know, yesterday there was a definite bounty on the head of the red jersey because they were just getting slayed left and right. So
2:15 on the clock. An important ride for Taj as he needs a 5.91. Starts with a lengthy carve. Gets way out in front. Gets the rebound off the top. Now he has a little lip to work with. Tight jam in the pocket. High line and wrap again for TB. Clean rail work. Great maneuver decisions, and he'll just jam one real quick. More of a wall on the inside track. And a quick cutty. Little drift with the foam cutting underneath his board, and he's out. Just needing a 5.91.
Well, that was smart surfing from Taj. Seamless surfing from Taj. You see a little bit of white water on the face, so at the beginning of this wave, a little tricky as he just sets those fins, makes sure that rail's in the water, nice clean surfing, no mistakes. Even though it's only a small score of a 5.91, still very tricky to get out here at the moment. Taj well and truly on his way, nice clean surfing, waiting for it, biding his time. Now it starts to stand up. This is the best move of the heat right there, of the wave, I beg your pardon. And then again, just nice slashing turns there. Nothing too vertical, a little bit more horizontal as he kicks out of that. It's in the judge's hands. And Taj won't have enough time to answer back. Matty Wilco running out of time if he does swing it.
Alone holding priority. Judges are calling for the replay of Wilco's 5.67 to compare the last to Taj. Also checking out live action pots of Wilco sneaking this one in right before the horn. It's looking a little slow and sluggish, so he'll look back and call it a heat. And now, since we are on hold anyways for a couple of hours, the judges can take their time to get the outcome.
Yeah, that they can. Scores slowly trickling through. Matty Wilco bringing it through to the inside. Tyres just got dropped off out the back on the jet ski, but it is all but done and dusted. You know, that tenacity, I like that go for it attitude. Matty Wilco's come out with some spice, and I love it. He's looking fit, he's looking right, he's got some good boards under his feet.